It's a long story behind how I ended up being a cultural broker. So in 2019, I met uh, an amazing person who had lots of connections, who actually needed a cultural broker. He actually needed someone who was able to understand enough and share her story to do some talks for a foster facility and also for another projects that she was developing. And I had my sister enrolled in, she was recently released from the OR facility. So I was like, I had a social worker come into my house. So she was my connection with this other person. She told this person that I was able to speak and understand English, and that I had a really good life experience, and that's how I began working into this role. I really like being a cultural broker for many reasons, and the reason number one is that when I didn't speak English, when I first came to the US, I did not speak English at all. So, and I always had translator people, like people translating me over the phone or in person, and it never felt good. I always felt scared to share some things, and and having a cultural broker in the room, someone with life experience, someone that can share some things equal to my experience. That's something that I wish to had. So now, being a cultural broker, I try to make those connections first, build trust, and then just like help them as much as I can. I think that the biggest, or one of the biggest challenges, is to revive stories. Because when you are just someone who is only translating, you know that you translate and you leave, and then another case. But when you're a cultural broker and you have the life experience, and there's a lot of trauma behind the person who is sitting in front of you and translating for you. So there are many things that are going to be not the same but in common. So I think that being a cultural broker is also reviving some moment. So I think that what has helped me a lot in the moments where I feel that I'm reviving a moment is always looking and speaking to the clinician I'm working with, and letting her know or him know the moments that I probably not didn't feel comfortable with, or I always take some you know work. I always go for walks, and I have dogs, and I always take them to a walk. And I also have a 2-year-old who needs mama. So I think that it's very crucial for me to focus at work, but at the same time, focus as a human. Self-care, I think it's a key, and communication is also a key. Maria's case is it's really important, not only for me but for many people. It highlights some of the key components of my life experience as well. As someone who migrated to this country, as someone who didn't speak the language, as someone who was extremely frustrated because therapy sessions didn't seem to be working as fast as I was expecting it. As someone who sat in a session hoping that the therapist will have a magic wand and make all my dreams come true easily and fast. So Maria, it's part of what I some things that I experience. Maria has a lot of strength. Maria has a lot of power, and Maria has a voice. Maria Maria in some way is the mother of her siblings as well. She's protecting them. She is looking for them, and she will always be advocating for those siblings. So I think that that's a strength that she has, and she's probably not realizing that because she needs to be a daughter as well. And I think that's part of the problem. She needs to be a daughter, and she needs to feel a daughter and feel love by her mother. But having the huge responsibility of taking care of these little children on her own, it's very difficult for her. And not only that, but thinking back that Maria's grandma is taking care of those kids back home. So we are talking about an elder person. So Maria's constantly worried about what's going to happen to my grandma, what's going to happen to my siblings if something happens to my grandma. So far, I think that the communication that we have with her and the trust that we have built with her, it's been really helpful because Maria is able to, regulate her emotions, to use some coping skills at the same time. And what is the most important, to always come back to the sessions, even though sessions can be a little hard for her, knowing that she is expecting to solve all the problems right away.